Greetings, everyone. The decision to extend the grace period from 31st of December 2022 to the 30th of June 2023 to holders of Zimbabwe exemption permits was not a relief only to the holders of these permits, but it was also a relief to employers mainly in the hospitality industry. While emerging from COVID-19, where the hospitality industry was greatly affected, tourism was hit hard. And you know that in Southern Africa, one of the sectors that provides revenue to our government is tourism in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in Botswana, and other countries. Our weather is good for tourists to visit. So restaurants, as you would know, that especially in Gauteng, Zimbabweans work in that industry. But of course, this industry needs to be looked into in the manner in which it treats workers. In the main, workers are paid what is called the tips. They work long hours. You know, a restaurant worker will leave their home at about 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. for work, and they will return around midnight in some restaurants. People work long hours. So yes, indeed, it has to be looked into on how we treat workers, and also the question of mobilizing the workers into unions. We have tried with COSATU and its affiliate to organize workers in the restaurants to join trade unions. But it's a relief to the employers in that, as you would know, that tourism, as I've said, provides revenue to governments in our region. Now, if the permits were to, if the grace period was not going to be extended, it was already causing problems for the employers as we are getting to summer, to begin to say, how do they deal with their employees whose permits or the grace period expires end of the year, at a time when the tourist, or it's a peak time for tourists to arrive in the country, and also a time for families to go out, because we'll be getting to a holiday soon where families will reunite. Some family members work outside their homes. Some family members are students in some boarding schools or universities outside their provinces or outside their homes. So it is normal that during the festive season, where restaurants make lots of monies, the expiry of the grace period was going to have a great effect to the restaurants, and it was not going to be easy to recruit new employees during the peak time for them to be able to work in restaurants. And this is what we're getting from employers. So now that the restaurants, the permits have been, the grace period is extended to 30th, it then gives employers, assuming the majority of the holders of ZEP who work in the restaurants are not able to move to other visas, it gives time for the employers to recruit new staff in winter, because you know, few of us will go to a restaurant in winter, and tourists really, few of them do visit this part of the world, because in Europe it will be summer, here it will be winter. So restaurants in the main, or the hospitality industry in the main, is not that active during winter. So it is a good time, therefore, to recruit new staff to prepare for the summer season, where there is also this peak in the restaurant, where people begin to go back to restaurants. So it was going to be difficult this season as we're emerging from COVID. So it is a relief indeed to the employers. It is a relief to the employees as well. But what we need to do, what needs to be done, those that ZEP holders will be able to move to other visas, whether they will get relative visas or whatever general work visa they are going to get in terms of the South African Immigration Act. They need to join the trade union movement, because the conditions that exist are not favorable to the employees. It's important that we pay particular attention in recruiting workers in restaurants to join trade unions. And the difficulty that has been there in the past is that when you have undocumented migrants that work in the restaurant, it becomes difficult for them to join a trade union movement, because they will be threatened that they will be fired by the employer. But what we have seen is that it is easier for government to monitor on who gets employed in a restaurant, as opposed, say, to in people's homes, when you are monitoring on who gets employed as a domestic worker. It is difficult to knock at every home in Sandton, in Rivonia, wherever, to check whether the person that works as a domestic worker is indeed a South African or is documented. It is going to be a huge challenge, but not with the restaurants, because in the main, restaurants are in a mall. So what we saw when EFF visited the restaurants in the Mall of Africa in Johannesburg, because there are a number of restaurants there. So it's easier even for the Department of Immigration and the police to simply seal off the mall and inspect the papers of each employee in a restaurant. It is very easy. So employers are beginning in this sector to want to employ people that are documented, because if, say, you are in Fourways Mall, in a restaurant, the employer have employed people that are not documented. When the immigration officials descend to that mall, you run the risk of being arrested and fined for employing undocumented people. So employers are also cautious, because I think we discussed this in the last video, that employers have been writing letters from the restaurant sector to their employees to say, if your permit expires on the 31st of December and you have not provided us with any proof of application, your contract ends. Those who are on other visas, and if it ends, say, in April next year, your contract ends at the expire of your permit. And employers are making sure that they communicate in writing. So there's this improvement or this development in this sector, where employers want to employ people that are documented. This then presents an opportunity to recruit these workers into a trade union, so that we reform this sector to an extent that workers do not work long hours in a restaurant. Like I have said, you are married, you go to work at 9, you come middle of the night, midnight, you have to leave your home, depending on where you stay, at about 7 or 8 in the morning or 9 o'clock, because you have to go to work, and you arrive in the middle of the night, and you are only off one day. Most cases, I've observed that most employees in the restaurant sector, they are off on a Monday. Today, on a Monday, Tuesday, they are off. Most of them, I know where we hang out, they will be buying us meat, frying on a Monday and a Tuesday. Weekends is they are in. So one day off and working long hours is not really conducive. So these are the issues that needs to be looked into. While this brings relief to employers and the employees who are holders of ZEP, but it is paramount that we reform this sector so that all workers are organized into a trade union. If you are working in a restaurant or in a hotel, you are in the hospitality industry, share with us your own experiences. Are you being paid a minimum wage or a salary, or you are still being paid tips? Because tips differ from one restaurant to the other. It would be interesting to hear your views and the number of hours that do you work per day or per week. It would be interesting. Please circulate this video to your friends and colleagues and comrades, and so that you continue to have this discussion. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Otherwise, red salute, comrades.